crypto holders, Bitcoin holders, holders of all digital assets, even you NFT people, you guys. Big things are happening right now in the cryptocurrency market. Starting to get pretty interesting. It is beginning to look like we could have a pretty good few months ahead of us. I want to talk about the charts today, what's going on in Bitcoin, what the big catalysts are, the fears that still remain in the market around the whole Trump tariff trade deal bullshit, okay? And look at the altcoin charts. Answering your questions, second half of the stream. Let's get it. Let's go, guys. Give me a good time. Hey, welcome everybody. By the way, Sue, I see Ultimate Team Dave, Pascal, Hugh, Steve-O, John, Scott, Jack, Chris. Welcome everybody. Cena, Fred. Welcome. Nice to see all you guys here. You hold those burning questions till the second half of the stream. We'll be getting into that kind of stuff. So, price of Bitcoin today at this very second and moment, $93,700. This area right here, of course, resistance back here on the 2nd of March. You can also see this very important area of price support. Overall, we're back within the range for now. I still would not be surprised by a retest back down here at like $89,000. You can see it was critical price support here, critical price resistance here and here. Wouldn't shock me at all. In fact, if anything, it'd be a welcome sign to see a little bit of a price retracement just to calm things down a little bit, right? Been pretty crazy last few days. You can see Bitcoin starting to range sideways a little bit as bulls are failing to push it higher beyond $95,000. Again, making me think we could be seeing a little bit of a price retracement coming over the next few days. Doesn't invalidate everything. And of course, you have to keep in mind, second you see a price go down a few percent, you're going to see all the bearish see now, that was the exit pump, baby. Now we're going to zero. Now it's time to go to zero. We're never going to zero, guys. And for all intents and purposes, everything looks like we're lining up for a decent run in the market, okay? So, FYI. Here's a great chart from CryptoCon. Since my last coverage of magic bands, the cycle top band has risen $20,000, now at $152,000. It's only continued to rise, and it seems likely to be beyond $200,000 by the end of the cycle. The bands have nailed previous Bitcoin cycle tops to precision with no diminishing effect. Even the short-term levels are hit to precision again and again. The cycle top band is the next major move. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. The next cycle top band is here at $112,000. Not very hard ahead. If we get up to that 150K range in sort of June-ish, let's say, that'd be an interesting place to be, I would say. Yeah. Devor Lark, do you remember bull market till April? Yes, things changed horrifically, very quickly. I was there for that entire thing. It's been a good time. Instead of Q1 seasonality working in our favor, Q1 got absolutely nuked by Trump nuking the markets. So that was a good time. It's been good. But now we are seeing markets retrace significantly. We're starting to see major turnarounds in a lot of the major assets. Things are starting to get very interesting. Look at the price of Bitcoin on the weekly chart here, for example. That we got the MACD on here. There we go. There's our MACD. Look at that beauty. MACD starting to curve back up, kind of like it did back here in October. If we get that crossing back over, which is still a few weeks away from happening, if we get that bullish crossover here on the MACD, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and we are going higher, guys. But hey, let's see how we go. Let's see how we go, guys. Obviously, markets have plenty of ways of surprising us all the time. What's often consensus is what's often wrong. But as we've been saying for a while, global M2's increasing, liquidity's increasing. We have good things going on in the market overall, okay? So let's see how it plays out. Continuing. Bach sharing this one, really hard to be bearish. Bitcoin, this setup. TMO gone down to green, dashed oversold levels. Stochastic RSI gone to green, dashed oversold level. Williams percent R gone down to green, dashed oversold level. This setup has been itself 3 other times since the start of the bull run. You can see here, following this signal, major pump. Following this coordination of singles, major pump, major pump. Will history repeat? So many indicators right now showing that we are starting a new uptrend. Does that uptrend take us to 150K BTC? Maybe we stop at 120, 130, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. Regardless, we have a lot of good things pushing us in towards the next few months. I like this comment here. Summer is historically slow. I'd be surprised to see a pump during the months. Yes, it's true. It's true. Summer is historically low. But let's say we pump into June, for example. See, July and August are really the really slow months in the market. A pump into June wouldn't be that crazy, to be honest. Let's see how it plays out, though. If global M2 is any indication, then currently it's taken us approximately to the end of June. Guys, if you're trading these cryptocurrency markets, I know that's a lot of you guys. Look, I get it. You want to be able to long the rips. You want to be able to short the dips. You want a reliable place with deep liquidity where you can go and long and short all your favorite coins. A little bit of leverage if you want, okay? But I understand the problem for a lot of you guys. It's restricted in my country. It's blocked in my country. I can't use that. It's not for... BitUnix is available to everybody everywhere. Okay, it's not no KYC, no VPN, no BS exchange. All you have to do is click the link down below, start trading, and bada bing, bada boom. You can start taking advantage of all the great opportunities to trade the market, make money in the market, no matter what's going on. When you sign up, you get $10 for free. You get up to $400 in deposit rewards. So you deposit $2,000, you get $400 back. So why would you deposit $2,000 to get the $400? It's a crazy deal, and you can get up to $500 in trading bonuses. Go check it out. Link down below in the description. Thank you very much. So the Bitcoin ETF, today we saw $440 million of inflows. That's technically yesterday's, Thursday's numbers. We don't get Friday's numbers for 10 hours or so. Markets so irrationally bullish. We even had $60 million of inflows into Ethereum products, bringing it to plus $50 million for the week. Nice. Good job, Ethereum. Plus $50 million for the week. Good for you, Ethereum. Good job. Good job. We're going to give you a gold star for that, Ethereum. Meanwhile, Bitcoin, $2.5 billion in the same time frame. Yes. Yes. Those are the vibes. What if this is a 5-year cycle due to monetary policy? Let's go. Tops in May 2026. It's very interesting. You know, to some extent, we have very much disconnected from legacy, let's say, thought processes and models about how we think Bitcoin should work. We are entering crazy times here, and there's a lot of confluence to say, hey, you know what, market's going to top as per usual at the end of the year. But also, if global M2 keeps pumping, if these kind of stories keep coming in, look at what Andrew's saying here. Wondering if the next Bitcoin balance sheet, big corporate will drop before or after the Bitcoin conference, saying, no, it's not GameStop. No, it's not the new thing being launched by Jack Mallers and Bitfinex and Tether. And who else is part of that? SoftBank, Cantor Fitzgerald. It's not that. We have a mega corporate coming. This rumor keeps circling around. There is a mega corporation coming. My guess, my money would be on Facebook. Meta, we call it Meta now. It would be on Meta because, well, it's perfect. They've been into crypto for a long time. The only reason Meta didn't launch their own blockchain is because the SEC shut them down, which is bullshit, right? But I guess thankfully we got Sui and Aptos out of that. Damn, Mark Zuckerberg's freaking goat is named Bitcoin, man. You cannot tell me he doesn't know and he's not paying attention. My money be on Meta. We'll see. We'll see what happens anyway. But these big buyers will keep rolling in. And if Meta buys, okay, Tesla bought back in 21. Oh, Elon Musk has always been weird anyway, right? But if Meta buys, how can Apple and Microsoft and Google really sit there and go, I guess we'll just let Facebook buy all the Bitcoin? I doubt it. I doubt it, guys. David Bailey saying, find whatever cash flowing asset you can, securitize it, issue paper against it, and buy Bitcoin. Do not wait. Them's fighting words, David. Holy shit. Guys, don't take a second mortgage against your house or anything to buy Bitcoin. Okay, let's just keep reasonable here. But hey, that's fucking crazy. Nevertheless, David Bailey, CEO of Bitcoin Magazine, dude who's literally been on the inner circle of all these big corporate deals and stuff like that. He knows. Shit's coming, guys. Now, back to the tariff dance and the usual kind of craziness, man. Cardano chart. We're going to get to the Cardano chart in a few minutes. You stick around, man. We got the Cardano charts to look at today. I thought Zuck was in on Libra. That didn't work out well. This is the thing, is Zuckerberg's Meta tried to launch the Libra coin. They got shut down by the government. They wanted to go into crypto. They just weren't allowed to. But if they're going to be allowed to buy Bitcoin. Lark, isn't the typical sell in May narrative playing out to get me every time? Maybe. I guess we're going to have to see what happens here, but sell in May and go away is a very valid thing. Problem is global liquidity is pumping into the end of June, approximately, based on current estimates. We'll see how it plays out. Normally, around the Bitcoin conference is sort of like a local top for Bitcoin. That's the end of May. Maybe we see Bitcoin topping out at like 110, 120 at the end of next month, and a lot of altcoins top out there. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to do the SUI charts in a few minutes. Okay, so check back on that. Okay, well, we're coming. All right, we're coming. Anyway, tariff dance. Trump, 90-day pause until we come up with the numbers I want. Trump reason for 90-day pause wasn't the bond market. Sure it wasn't. Trump just now. There was a meeting with China this morning. S&P 500 new high of the day. Since retraced because he came out and said basically some more negative stuff, which I think was this one here, that we're going to have bigger numbers. And he was interviewed by Time Magazine or something. So what if it's 50%? So, that'd be great. We're really winning. Okay, great. Shut up, Trump. Stop it. China quietly rolling back retaliatory tariffs on some U.S.-made semiconductors. Little things are happening in the background, guys. Trump says deals expected in the next 3 to 4 weeks. That's going to be like Japan and Mexico and Canada and Vietnam, maybe EU, stuff like that. Okay, the China deal is probably going to be the one that takes the longest time. Coin Trader Nick, my entire feed is talking about how bullish the entire feed is. Bear market rallies in 2008. Everyone saw someone talking about sentiment being too bullish. Every sentiment metric ever devised in the gutter. U.S. search trends for recession are at the highest since COVID. The Economist is printing cover stories about the dollar demise. Please don't think your curated FinTwit feed is an accurate representation of broader market sentiment. Short term, sure, we could overextend, but don't be the doomer that remains bear hold and shorts into the eventual retest of the lows, only for the XPX to close out the year up double digits. The Zweig breadth thrust, 19 out of 19 signals, have always resulted in the S&P 500 being higher 6 and 12 months after. Just signaled again yesterday. Okay, there's so many signals. It's a very contrarian bet to say markets won't go higher later this year. I guess if you think, well, it's all just going to be screwed up and a big recession is going to come and deals won't be made, and I guess then, yeah, you should probably be out of the market. I don't know what the hell you're doing here. Just be in cash, go enjoy your life for a little while and come back and buy later. Charles, the beard. Is there even a man there anymore? Or is it just all beard? Who really wears who? Is Charles wearing the beard or is the beard wearing Charles? Hard to say. Anyway, shout out Charles. You know, I love you, man. Charles Hoskinson says he doesn't believe Ethereum will survive more than 10 to 15 years. Ethereum is a victim of its own success, like MySpace or BlackBerry. Could add in Nokia, Blockbuster, or all kinds of other companies went by the wayside because of failure to innovate. Now, we do have RSI-CV coming to replace the Ethereum virtual machine and increase scaling. Problem is, it's not going to come for probably 3 or 4 years. Next bull run, guys. Next bull run, we'll get a scaled Ethereum if they don't change their minds between now and then. Anyway, Charles, this is what the Ethereum chart looks like currently. Okay, now you got to really just let's just dial back here a second, okay? Because if you look at the real sort of metrics here, on it's easy to talk trash. We love talking trash. It's always a good time. Let me see if I'm bringing some chain stats here. Where Cardano's all the way down here somewhere. I gotta really scroll down even further. There it is. Okay, look. Let's look at some quick chain stats here, okay? Because you have to understand the space from which Charles is currently talking. So this is Ethereum, stablecoin market cap 123 billion, chain fees $1 million, chain revenue $500,000, app revenue $1 million, DEX volume 1.65 billion. This is all in the last 24 hours. Perpetual volumes 850 million, inflows 24 million, active addresses 375,000. Okay, Cardano. Where's Cardano at? Here we go. There it is. All right, stablecoin market cap. How is that even possible? $30 million, chain fees $10,000, DEX volume $3 million. Well, okay, we're gonna be generous. Round up $4 million. $4 million. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Active addresses 23,000. What the actual fuck is going on at Cardano, and how is it still worth $30 billion? I have no idea. Anyway, Charles, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I mean, to be fair, the chart for Cardano looks a hell of a lot better than the chart for Ethereum right now. I got to give you that, man. I got to give you that. But gosh damn it, fix those statistics, man. That is crazy town. That is crazy town. How are the statistics for Cardano so horrifically bad? I don't. Anyway, the chart looks great. The chart looks great, folks. Let's just give it that. 20-day, 50-day, 200-day EMA even taken out right now, although I'd suspect we get a retest of the 50-day EMA down here at 68 cents in the coming couple of days. Ethereum chart looks like butt. Finally, back over the 20-day EMA. Yay. 50, 200's way out there, man. You got Ethereum's got to get to $2,500 just to take out the 200-day. Cardano's there right now. So, you know what? Fair play, Charles. Your chart looks a hell of a lot better than Ethereum's right now, but you're on-chain stats, man. That's some rough shit. Guys, if you're not in the Discord yet, link down below. We're sharing new meme coins. We're sharing all kinds of stuff, AI agents, charts, TA calls, and much more. Link down below. You can check it out. Marty Party saying, Solana going to rally to BlackRock ETF application, Fidelity ETF approval. Solana right now looking beautiful, man. I still expect we get a retest down here at like 135. I could see prices roll over the weekend, for example. Bit of a retest on some key things. Doesn't mean the bull run's over, or the bull run. It doesn't mean that the rally's over and you know things are all going to go to zero, or whatever. But it would just make sort of logical sense to see prices come back down. You know, 135, 140 for Solana, 89K for Bitcoin, something like that. Meme coins correct by 20, 30%, something like that. So even the blind don't want to see the Ethereum chart. That's brutal, man. That's brutal. Look, Solana chart looking beautiful, man. Thing of beauty. Absolutely love that chart. Looking really good right now. Coming up to this key area right here. Just a tiny bit. There we go. Key area right here. You can see previous resistance areas there. Previous support areas here. So that lines up interestingly with the 200-day EMA right here. So if we get up to 160, potentially a short situation comes in where price can come back down. Lark, are you confident in BitUnix? Well, I use BitUnix all the time. I do a lot of trading over on BitUnix. I enjoy BitUnix. With any exchange, literally any exchange. Guys, it's not a bank, okay? I'm talking about Binance, Coinbase, BitUnix, Femex, whatever you're using. They're not banks. They're for trading on. Your long-term coins should always be held in a hardware wallet, something like this, okay? It's a Ledger wallet. That's where you should store your long-term coins. I like BitUnix. I've been trading over there. I think it's a good time. I think it's a good exchange to use. And like I said, I haven't put my money where my mouth is. I do a lot of my trading over there on BitUnix. Okay, continuing. Yeah, beautiful chart here for Solana. If we fail to blast straight over this, I would say potentially that's an interesting rejection zone. If we even get quite that far, again, I would really like to see a retest back down here around like 140 or something like that. Probably pretty interesting. Not sure we get it, but yeah, we'll see how we go. Pokemon on Sui, that's the rumor right now. Pokemon Home had a privacy policy update, which includes a new developer, Parasol Technologies. Miston Labs owns Parasol and is the developer behind Sui. Not too hard to connect these dots. That's why Sui has rallied like an absolute effing monster the last few days. Goodness gracious. Hey, fun story. I had a nice little long going on Sui here around like 225, 226, something like that. Got stopped out. By like a fraction of a penny, it got stopped out. Please don't say BitUnix no KYC. It is no KYC unless you want to buy with fiat. So I just deposit USDT. I've never done KYC on BitUnix. I guess unless if you wanted to withdraw more than $500,000 a day, I think you also have to KYC in that situation. I guess if you get $10 million in winnings, you just do the $499,000 a day without doing KYC. But if you want to buy directly using fiat, then you do have to KYC. If you're just depositing USDT and want to do some trading using leverage, then it is no KYC for that. What a chart, man. What a chart. That Pokemon hype is just running it hard, man. And we got the Sui base camp coming up here in a few days. What a damn strong chart. Now, I love it. However, currently getting pretty heavily overbought. The RSI is up to 78 currently. You can see previously, now there could still be a little bit of room to run here. Okay, we can see previously when we got up in this sort of 78 to 80 range, price then started correcting shortly thereafter. You can see back here in November, we got a beautiful run up and then a nice price correction back down. This is a price correction of about 25%. So just for context, I'm not saying this is the exact thing. Just for context, 25% brings you back down to retest the 200-day EMA from here, okay? Not saying it's going to come tomorrow. There could still be some good juice left in this. Everybody likes to bet on winners and buy tops and chase hype and chase this Pokemon narrative. Fantastic. Love Sui, strong coin, great charts. Ben doing beautiful. Gravity will catch up at some point. That's an insane rally. This just happened right there. Love to see it. There'll be a retest of key levels here at some point in the not-so-distant future. So if you missed that train, and you want to get on that train, you're probably better off waiting for a bit of a retest, a bit of a cool down. But have to be patient. You might see it pump a little bit higher and go, oh my gosh, I'm missing out. Had I bought it yesterday, I could be up 10% now. But then it goes down 25, 30%, and then it's probably a good entry. Okay, so just, you can be patient with these things. I'm willing to miss positions. I don't mind. You know, if something gets away from me, there's always another train to hop on, man. That's how it is, okay? SEC task force met with Ondo Finance, law firm Davis Polk & Wardell to discuss issuing and selling wrapped tokenized versions of publicly traded U.S. securities. Unbelievably effing bullish. Nobody's bullish enough. We're gonna have fucking stocks on the blockchain here soon, guys. It's gonna be absolutely bonkers nuts. Surprisingly, people are more excited about Pokemon on Sui than literally like the whole U.S. stock exchange coming on crypto via Ondo. Sure, why not, guys? You know, screw all that boomer stuff anyway. It's only up 13%. Currently trying to break out beyond the 200-day EMA. Now, the signal here would be if you break out beyond, let's say, $1.03. Daily candle close $1.03 or higher. That's a long, okay? That's a major breakout beyond the 200-day EMA. Failure to close this daily candle at $1.03. Watch for potential retracement back down here to like 92 cents or something like that, which is probably a good chance to go long again. Okay, for a variety of reasons. You can look at this right here. That's our current uptrend line. So that move back to, let's say, 92 cents would be a retest of the uptrend line, retest the 50-day EMA, potentially even the 20-day EMA by that point, plus previous price resistance here, flipping that into support would be a nice place. Would be a nice place to grab some 92-cent Ondo for a long higher. Let's see how that plays out over the next few days. Okay. You know, we gotta stop talking about all this macro shit, man. Just do more charts, I swear. I was telling myself today, Lark, you got to make sure your stream is, you're not doing more than 15 minutes of talking about stuff. 23 minutes later. Well, we got to do at least 15 minutes talking to you guys here. Do some questions, do some answers. Oh, man, I feel your pain. I was waiting for ages to get an entry on Tau. Got stopped out by a bee's dick. God, those damn bee's dicks. Now it's up 60%, but if I go chasing, I'll get wrecked. Yeah, damn, you know, same thing on my Pengu buy orders. I had a buy order at 0.006. It went down to 0.0061. I missed it by, what is that? 1/1000th of a cent? Come on. Come on. Anyway. Such are things. Those buy orders are still buy ordering for PopCap, Pengu, Litecoin. Let's see if we get a correction over the weekend, or we just pump it rationally over the weekend. I'll have to look for new things to trade or buy next week. It's fine. It's fine, guys. It's fine. There is no made safe deep dive dropping. It's not coming. Ponke. Man, those guys do hilarious cartoons. Brazil, what up? What up? Bom dia. You're drinking White Claw. White Claw. Nah, man, we're drinking Perrier up in here. Okay, keeping it classy. Le Français. Oh, okay. Where are we up to? If you could only trade knowing one EMA, which one would it be? 20-day. 20-day EMA, man. Love me that 20-day EMA. One of my favorites. No one talks about Tau don't fade. Well, I don't talk about it too much, but I you guys keep me updated on it. I appreciate that. I like it as an AI play. I think it's pretty good. Like Tau and Render and stuff like that. Some of those OG AI coins. I like them. I like what they're doing. They're cool. Jupiter charts. You know what? Let's do a Jupiter chart. Why not? Let's do a Jupiter chart. Let's see what's going on there. I haven't actually looked at that in a few days. I was thinking about buying some more, but I don't know. I've got such a damn big Jupiter bag. All right. I see you, Jupiter. What's up? Okay, I better put that on the chart for you. Another thing here for you guys. Jupiter chart, right? For some reason, the 20-day EMA is not loading on this. But anyway, let's just try and refresh that. There we go. Okay. Looking very nice at the moment, to be honest. I think it's a very nice looking chart. I think I'm sort of, there was some bullshit, to be honest, and it almost got me out of my Jupiter bag. Thankfully, the markets were down so much. It's like, screw it. What's even up? I'm not going to sell it here. Just waiting, staking again in the governance, voting, getting money, all that BS. Fine. Looking pretty good here, though. Currently, I think this 50-day EMA retest, promising. Let's see. Again, if we get a sort of correction over the weekend, for example, prices probably pull back to the 20-day for this, around like 42 cents, probably an interesting thing. If it can maintain momentum, close over the 50-day EMA today, which is 12 and a half hours away, that probably gets a long position opening up here, at least up to sort of this area, probably around 58 cents. Still a long way to go to get back up to the 200-day EMA at 72 cents, which is really the bull bear line. This thing got really wrecked over the whole Kelsier scam Libra coin bullshit out of Argentina and the connections with Meteora and all the rest of it. Okay, so it's been definitely kicked in the balls a bit. Do you think Bitcoin will hit $100,000 this week? I don't know. Probably not. By Sunday? I mean, sure, it can. It's relatively irrelevant if it does or not. The way I'm looking at it, like I said earlier, is that I wouldn't be surprised to see a slight pullback on Bitcoin over the next couple of days. Be a nice place to get long if it does, if it pulls back to 89 or 90K over the weekend, for example. And look, we're one bullish story away from the markets pumping, and maybe we do get to 100K by Sunday. I'm open for that too. It's fine. My spot bags are going to do great. But I'll look for better entries on trade specifically, right? Versus trying to chase stuff. This could be setting up for a big bull trap again on altcoins. Well, it's like we say, guys, bull markets, what do? They climb the wall of worry, right? Bear markets walk down the stairs of despair and worry, I guess. Market crashes, jump off the cliff of worry. Relief rallies, climb up the broken glass of worry. It's just worry all the time. That's risk. That's investing, man. For a lot of intents and purposes, it looks like we are getting a market reversal. A lot of major coins are leading in a pretty positive direction, breaking out, putting in new structure, right? That means they're putting in new higher highs, new higher lows, starting to reverse on key moving averages. Key moving averages starting to trend up again. Now, maybe we'll just get cucked and Donald Trump tweets out some bullshit like 1,000,000% tariffs on everybody. Screw the global economy, everything to zero. Well, okay, fantastic. Then we're all going to zero. But yeah, have you ever tried to drink kava? I drank kava a long time ago. A long time since I had kava. I think I was 20. I used to work in Hawaii back in the day. And where the hell island was that? Must have been Maui. No, it wasn't Maui. I think it was Kona. I think it was Kona. Yeah, we're Kona on the Big Island. Anyways, with some dudes that I knew, and they're like, let's go have some kava. I'm like, all right, sure. Went and played, had some kava, played some pool. It was okay. No movement in Aptos yet. A little bit, but Not a lot. Not a lot yet. I regret not buying Sui earlier this month. I mean, who the hell could have known about the Pokemon news? I mean, there's always something big coming up, right? There's always a lot of coins, not just Sui. Okay, that's strategic rumor, let's say. I'm sure it'll be announced probably at Sui Base Camp. I wouldn't be surprised. That's next week here in Dubai. I would not be surprised to see a lot of other coins coming out with really, really big news over the next few weeks. A lot of, from what I know, the teams that I am in contact with, or the sort of other influencers and stuff that I know, a lot of coins hold back big news during times of market despair. Because why the hell would you announce, okay, we got this big news? Had that news come out on April 3rd, nobody would have given a crap about it, and Sui wouldn't have reacted at all. But because markets are starting to look a bit bullish again, things are starting to be okay, markets pumped like crazy off that news. So fantastic. Well, a little bit of a pump here in the markets right now. Digging it, digging it. Bitcoin's up a little bit. Things are bouncing around. It'd be interesting if we get a nice close above that. We're back over 90. I'm just bringing a chart here for you guys real quick. It'd be interesting to see if we get over this hump right here. That's the one, $95,000, man. That's, I think, a pretty key control area right now. Again, key resistance there, key support back here. If we can get over 95K, shit, man, things get real crazy. But still, I expect there'll be a decent pullback at some point in the next few days. Let's see. I guess if not, then hey, that's fine too, isn't it? Lark, thanks for your brutal honesty about Ethereum. I was holding a big bag of Ether after watching one of your lives. I got out and got into Sui at 215. Yes, you've just outperformed probably a year of price performance for Ethereum, man. Beautiful, Sam. Beautiful. Love to see it. Love to see it. That's great. Kratom. I've got a buddy back in New Zealand who is super into Kratom. Yeah, I've Dubai is, somebody else asking about Dubai. Dubai is a recent move. We've been here since September. Moved in September. It's great. Love it. Big fan. Starting to get hot now. So that's it's got its own little challenges during the daytime. But even when it's like super hot during the day, mornings and evenings are still really nice. But yeah, love it. Love it. Big Dubai fan. So happy we moved here. Great vibes, great service. No taxes. It's fantastic. Center of my industry as well. So people always come to town. I get to have coffees with people that just, you know, living in New Zealand. Nobody ever comes to New Zealand, man. My mother-in-law has come a few times. That's good for the grandkids, or my kids, you know, not her grandkids. So it's great, man. I'm still loving living in Dubai. It's fantastic. I stopped Kratom. I got addicted. Yeah, my buddy was addicted too. I never really got into the Kratom, but he was super into it. Why would you move from the United States to Dubai? I'm not, well, I didn't live in the United States, lived in New Zealand. But look, everybody has their own sort of things they value in life, Con. If you don't like paying low taxes, having the best services, the best medical services, all these kind of things, being super connected to the world. Like if you really just value like living in the United States and just like, okay, like my identity is based on New York or LA or Miami, and that's who I am. I could never imagine living anywhere else. Then that's you, man. That's not me. That's not me in my life. I love the United States. I love visiting. My dad still lives there. I go from time to time to visit. I enjoy my visits there. It's a good time. Beautiful place. He lives in upstate New York. Incredible, beautiful mountains and rivers and all that shit. It's great. Love that shit. Okay. But I also love living in Dubai. I wouldn't want to live in the United States personally. Not that bashing anybody who lives there, man. It's a great place to live. I know a lot of great people who live there. Okay. But it's not for me. It's not my vibe right now. I like living in Dubai. I liked living in New Zealand before that, but it was just kind of got a bit far away from everything. So I said, you know, it's time to go do something different. My wife and I were the kind of people who have moved countries many times before. So this isn't like a big scary, like, oh my gosh, how can you move countries? What are you going to do? You have to be useful where you were born. It's not the way I think. So I like living different places, and we've been living here in Dubai quite successfully and happily for a while now. Probably avoiding taxes. Well, definitely the tax situation in Dubai makes it very, very favorable, but also living costs are high here. So to an extent, that's something to factor in, but also it's just a really cool place, incredible services, super family friendly, close to uh, grandma, all these kind of things. There's a lot of reasons. Everybody, oh, just for taxes, bro. Like, yeah, taxes are definitely a part of it. It's a fantastic advantage of living here. And it's amazing that a society can be so nice and clean and functional without stealing half my money. But it's not the only reason why we're here. It's definitely a nice reason, but there's, I think tax alone would not have been enough reason to get up out of New Zealand and move. It was also, we didn't have any family in New Zealand. My mom had moved back to the United States a few years ago, and a lot of other factors coming into it. Sort of vibes in Wellington in particular were getting pretty funky. Maybe I should have moved to Auckland, but I thought, if we're gonna move, let's just go. Let's do something. We're still young enough where we can just pick up and move countries, and it's gonna be great. And the kids are so young right now that they're not gonna have their best friends from school for 10 years that were destroying their lives by leaving. No, it'll be fine. Anyway, if you could buy one coin, not Bitcoin, which would it be? I mean, it's a pretty loaded question. Let's say Solana. I don't currently own any, so I'll very little bit of Solana. I have I don't know, small amount of Solana I use for degenerating into some random stuff, but I think Solana would be the one to go into if you have to own one coin outside of Bitcoin. Owning 10 Bitcoin Cash or putting invested in the top 2% with, but why would you own Bitcoin? Why? For what possible reason would you own Bitcoin Cash when you could own Bitcoin? I could own 100 Litecoin. I'll be the top Litecoin holder. Yeah, Australia. I love Australia. Big Australia fan. Jordan, the only thing that puts me off Dubai is the strict laws. Well, it's an interesting conversation, Jordan. It's not so much that the laws are strict, it's that they enforce the law, right? I feel like a lot of places got pretty lax on laws, and you heard a common criticism against a lot of Western societies where all this shit happens. People just keep getting away with all these kind of crimes and stuff. And here they just don't put up the bullshit, which I can kind of appreciate. So, plus, I think there's a lot of misperceptions about what is or is not allowed in Dubai. People are like, oh, well, I can't just, get horrendously drunk and go party in the streets and pass out in the park with my ball of vodka. That's not freedom. Yeah, I kind of appreciate that I can walk to the park in the evening and there's not drunks, yelling and breaking bottles and shit. And that's kind of like the New Zealand experience on a Friday, Saturday night in most big cities. I kind of appreciate that, right? And it's not that you can't have a drink here if you want. You can. It's just not in your face everywhere all the time, which kind of is nice, to be honest. Trader, lulz. I live in Dubai too. If I had the choice to live in the US, I wouldn't blink twice. Well, it's an interesting thing. I've heard so many people who always have this sort of perception of what America is. And having grown up in America, going back there frequently, this sort of the grass is greener. Oh, I'm going to go to America. My life's going to be so much better. We got some Russian friends who always like, oh, if I only could go to America. Like, what the hell are you talking about, man? You got a good job in Russia. You don't speak fantastic English. Like, your life's great in Russia. You got everybody there, your family's support network. You're respected in your job there. What are you going to America for? It's not, it's a nice place, right? But I think people who don't live there or haven't lived there kind of have this sort of rose-tinted version of what America is from the movies and stuff. Dubai is orderly. New Zealand is beautiful. It's very true. Love New Zealand. Big fan. I'm sure we'll go back someday in the distant future, but not foreseeable future. Let's say that. It's because there's no brokies in Dubai. Just go to Puerto Rico if it's for taxes. Well, for Americans, it's a decent option to go to Puerto Rico. I'm not an American, so I'm not going to go to Puerto Rico. Dubai is better than the USA in every way except for the weather. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. I do not feel like a slave in Dubai by any means. I feel actually very free here. It's nice to be able to have the freedom to, do all kind of things here. It's interesting, actually. He's hearing the El Salvador president talk about it. Damn, we're up to 40 minutes. I'm sorry. One day I'm going to keep these streams at 30 minutes, guys. I was hearing the El Salvador president talk about it, and like, oh, how can you put all these people in jail, these gang members? You didn't put them through due process, like they had gang member tattoos, or put them in jail. And he said, why are the human rights of 10,000 gang members more important than the human rights of 5 million El Salvadorians who are terrified to walk out in the streets in the evening because they're going to get shot or robbed or whatever? What about their human rights? That's an interesting thought. Fart going to the moon. That's here's the fart coin's the best. It really is. One or two more here, guys. Are there enough sheep in Dubai for a Kiwi? Gotta bring your own sheep, man. And your own gumboots for it. Dubai rocks, BB. Yeah, big Dubai fan. Have you seen the Tates yet? I have not. Are they in Dubai? In Dubai, if you take your car out for a ride, you'll get fined. This is how strict it is. Well, I don't know. I guess I've been missing out on that experience because I drive all the time and I've never got a fine. Fascinating. Should probably tell somebody about that. I guess, driving my car and the other million people who drive their cars every day. Anyway. What are your thoughts on M2 and QE? QE, there's going to be stealth forms of QE, but I don't think we get the QE that everybody hopes for unless there's a real crisis and interest rates have to go to zero. That's when they do QE. Historically, they don't just randomly pull QE out of their hats. Now, there might be some sort of stealth QE around like mortgage-backed securities or something like that. QE is not QE. I think we should look for quantitative tightening, particularly to end. That's probably the most important thing right now, and interest rates to come down. Those are the two big things I'm looking for from the Fed. Anybody who's saying like QE needs to come in order for crypto to pump, like, no, we don't need QE. Yeah, obviously it'll be great if it does, but you have to go through the crisis before you get the QE pump. Okay, so we don't necessarily need that to happen. M2, fantastic. It's pumping. We're starting to correlate to it to some extent. If we correlate and continue to correlate, then we are looking at a pump into like June right now. So nice. When should we expect Solana ETF news? There's a whole bunch of Solana ETF applications along with Litecoin and XRP and Dogecoin applications through the whole month of May. I don't know if they're just going to delay all that stuff or if we're actually going to see some approvals happen. A lot of rumor going around that approval is going to happen, but is this a geography live stream? You'll feel isolated in America if you aren't a native. I feel that's true with a lot of countries, but anyway. Most people don't understand how 99% of people live in Dubai, and it's not that amazing. Well, I think most countries, 99% of people who live in most places, 99% of people, that's probably a bit of a big number. I think there's a huge amount of people just living sort of normal middle-class lives here in Dubai as well. And we're talking about sort of people who work in the service industries and stuff like that. People come from the Philippines or Pakistan or India or whatever to work in restaurants and construction sites. Yeah, it's probably not very glamorous. It's not the Dubai lifestyle of driving around your Rolls Royce or whatever and, going to fancy restaurants, right? But then it's not like that in any country, right? The lower classes never live that lifestyle, whether it be the United States, the UK, New Zealand, Australia, India, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, wherever, right? There's always people who have and always people who have not. And I've heard like, well, but those people who come to Dubai, they're being exploited. Look, I worked on a cruise ship when I was young, and I would work for 6 months at a time, 15 hours a day, every single day of the week. Okay? It was a compromise that I made because it was a good job. And I look at the people who come here for those sort of contracts as well as the compromise they make because it's a good job. They make way more money than they make back in their home countries. they get to send money back home and support their families. I get it. I would do the same thing if I was in their situation. How about Switzerland? Switzerland was actually on the short list. We decided to buy for a variety of reasons, though. It's Fart Coin ripping it. The biggest rips. Fart Coin's better than PopCat, better than FWOG. A lot of Danish people I know live in Dubai and love it. I mean, this is the thing, is anybody who's, I think, lived in Dubai understands the Dubai value proposition. It's a good spot to be. Holy shit. It's 45 minutes. We have to end the stream, guys. I swear we're going to get these down to 30 minutes one day. I got to get the first half of the stuff much shorter for you guys, okay? So we can keep these things succinct. 45 minutes. It's a good time. I always have a great time talking with you guys. So I appreciate everybody coming to the stream. Appreciate hanging out. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Let's hope the markets give us some nice performance during that time. Maybe a nice little pullback so we can fill our bags up a little more. That'd be great. That'd be great. Come on, let's fill Daddy's PopCat and Litecoin bags. Let's go. Okay, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.